Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm actually starting this video a little bit earlier than I normally would. I usually have a few days where I don't really film anything, but I want to get this tiller going because this is the week, or I shouldn't say that. Melissa's stuff on Facebook showed that 1 year ago today we still had not planted. I think she planted the bean seeds, was getting it ready to plant tomorrow or something. None of the plants were in. Anyway, I need to get that garden tilled up, and I cannot get this motor going. And there's just I can't get it running, and the pull cord needs to be changed, so I need to have a Zach look at it for a day. And this is the motor that used to be on the wood splitter. Remember, I bought a new motor for the wood splitter, and then Zachary fixed this one and brought it back. So I'm trying to see if I can get this motor to go on this tiller to at least do my initial tilling and then be done. I had to go up to L&M because this motor has, the shaft comes out a little farther, and then this washer goes on it, and then this stuff slaps against it. So I went and got some washers that can go behind here on this one to kind of fur that out, but this shaft is still longer, so I don't know, it'll go through this gear here, or this pulley. I'm just not sure what I'm going to do. So anyway, I'm trying to see if I can get this to work. I tell you right now, there's been plenty of clips that have been pulled out of this, that will be pulled out of this video. I don't know how Zachary does it. So frustrating. Well, Melissa just left for her pottery class, and she's going to call me here in just a couple minutes. I'll talk to her for the half-hour drive there, and then we'll fire this up again and see if it will till some dirt. I hope it does. I'm glad that worked, because I don't have time to wait. I mean, Zachary just moved into that new house. He has absolutely no time to work on a motor. In fact, you can hardly walk in the garage because it's got so much stuff in it right now. So this will work out awesome, just putting this other one that he fixed in there. Worked awesome. Till it now, till it in a couple more days, and we can plant all of our plants. Not bad for a Tuesday night. I just got back to the house here a little while ago. It's almost 6 o'clock at night. Earlier today, I mean, it was rainy this morning and 52 degrees, I think. And then it got up to, my weather thing says 76. And then when I got back here, when I was in Superior this afternoon at about 3 o'clock, it was raining down there and only 54 degrees. And now it's back up to, and it was 64 when I got back here and kind of rainy, and now the sun has come out and it's back up into the low 70s. I wanted to cut a little bit of wood tonight though, just continue on this project a little bit at a time. Well, I gave it a little over an hour tonight. Making a little bit of a dent in the pile. Remember how I washed my truck last night? One dirt road that was wet today. I didn't expect it to rain. Look at that mess. Good morning, everybody. Some small rain showers going through right now. It's a little bit windy. Get up there. Good morning, everybody. Yesterday started out raining in the morning and then got nicer in the afternoon. And as you saw, I went out and mowed. I didn't do the fields, but I did mow pretty much the whole entire yard. Went out on a buggy ride with Melissa last night. And now this morning, my dad had texted me earlier this week saying he might stop up here today. He has a grapevine to drop off from my brother John and some corn seeds if I want to plant them. They're that real colorful corn. So I don't know if he's going to come up and want to split or not, but I told him that earlier when he was going to come up that I would have the splitter full of gas and everything out here if he wanted to. So thought I'd get out here and take care of this right away. If he doesn't split, it doesn't matter. I know I will be out here this weekend doing some splitting and getting some more logs cut up. Obviously planting the garden, and it seems like it's so late in the season, but this is the same week that we did it last year, and it turned out great. So Melissa's still canning peaches, so she's in there doing that. So I am planting the plants and everything, and then we'll get the bean seeds. And the only thing we do with seeds is beans, and we get so many beans that we'll be all right. But she wanted a lot of Roma tomatoes, which we have, a lot of green zucchini, yellow zucchini, And then I've got like some acorn squash because my mom and dad like that. On my another attempt at pumpkins. What else? The cantaloupe, some watermelon, a whole bunch of different kind of peppers. I think she wants to do the peppers in the little swimming pools. She picked some of those up and she wants to, they do not do good in the bales. And she wants nothing to do with putting them right into the ground where, you know, it's a lot easier to weed if it's into like the little swimming pool. She saw some video on that, so I'm all for trying new things. Well, I'm going to call it a night. It's about 8:45. Got a bunch of stuff planted here. I still have a bunch more to plant. Then we moved, Melissa's son was in the small bedroom upstairs, so we moved him into the bigger bedroom tonight. And tomorrow, hopefully I can finish. Today I got to 78 degrees or something. Tomorrow's high is only 66. And then 88, and then 95 or 96. So I wanted to get most of this planted today and tomorrow if I can, because it's cooler, because this stuff is going to bake the next days after that. I thought Melissa wanted to put the peppers in the pools, but she doesn't. What did she say she wants to? I can't remember. Oh, onions and garlic she wanted to, and I don't know if we'll get that in, because I'm not putting potatoes in this year. And it's just too late. I could get little potatoes, but it's too late for that. Just want to get this garden in. This is going to do awesome. I've never seen tomatoes like last year grow so well in bales. And I tell you, the mosquitoes are horrible. When my dad came up today, my brother John, who lives in Apple Valley, Minnesota, which is just a little bit south of the cities, and he grows these grapevines that just do awesome. So he took a cutting and, I don't know, whatever you do to them to get it to root, and here it is. So we're going to plant this, I think, in the strawberry garden against one of the fences so it can climb up, and we'll see if it can survive a winter here or not. Good morning, everybody. Try to get most of that garden finished planting today. In a couple hours I'm going to cook up some ribeye steaks for lunch. We haven't had those for a long time, so I ran up to the store this morning and picked some up. And Melissa, she has peaches to finish up today, and then she's going to be making her pork chops and onion gravy, and that. So today she wants to fry all of the chops. She's making a big batch in her great big cast iron pot. And then tomorrow that'll have to cook for about 6 hours. So she's going to be busy with that. But yeah, I'd like to get that garden done today because it's only supposed to get to 64 degrees. And then tomorrow it's like 89 and then 95. And it's just going to be miserable for a whole entire week. Planting a lot of tomatoes. I'm planting a lot of tomatoes because that's what Melissa uses the most of. She canned a bunch last year, but then we ended up going and buying, you know, people will have Roma tomatoes for sale. And she ended up buying some, so I'm trying to plant a lot of them. And then if the season gets cold too fast, which it does up here, I may do a PVC loop over like the one row That one I did yesterday, most of that is Roma, which is what she uses. And then I can loop that and hopefully maybe, you know, put some plastic over it, and it'll give a little bit of a longer season in the fall. I hope to get out there and split some wood this afternoon if I have any time. Doing that in 60-degree weather is much better than doing it in 90. Well, I have room for 4 more if I keep them in the same configuration, which I'm going to do. So I bought more than, well, way more than we really need. But the problem up here is, since they don't mature before winter time comes, some of them you've got to plant a lot to be able to get a good crop, and hopefully looping it or putting the hoops over will help in the fall if I have time for that. But anyway, I have mountain merit and Manitobas, because she wanted Roma for doing all the canning stuff, and then some for like hamburgers and stuff like that. So I've got the big boys planted. Of course, I've got the sweet 100s on the end over there, the little cherry tomatoes. But the Manitobas are 62-day tomatoes, and the mountain merits is 70 to 75-day. So we're going to go with the Manitobas, and in these maybe I'll shove in the bales there or somewhere. There's a chance of some rain showers today, and that looks like one cloud that might drop a little bit. What I'm doing now is planting the bean seeds, and these bales, second year, you know, they're a lot looser. So I'm adding, this is just topsoil, but all it is compost. You can see all the sticks and stuff in it. And then I just do that, and then I can just poke down, and my seed is still inside of the dirt somewhat.
Yum!
these two bales back here, I'm going to put Blue Lake 274s, which used to be my favorite bean. I've talked about it before, and I've had really crappy luck with them the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, these were like my go-to bean, and just such a hard time getting them to germinate. And I mean, once they're up, they're still good, but just a horrible time for germination. And I remember saying that in a video before, and somebody else said they were having the same trouble. These were the beans that my grandmother on my mom's side always planted. These were the ones, and that's just why I always planted them, because she said they were the best bean. And I know it seems like I'm planting a lot of beans, but we use a lot of beans. And in fact, Melissa was just saying she's got to can a bunch more this fall because we're going to be running out. I mean, we probably still have 30 jars down there, but we do use them quite a bit. Well, the rain finally started. We'll go over everything I planted. I really packed it in tight in here. And one of the reasons why is this side gets real weedy. And if everything is covered, the weeds won't be able to grow. And now I'm just getting these bales ready to put in some of the spare stuff that I have. But I'm going to get the camera inside because it's getting pretty wet. It's 5:30 out, still raining. I think we got over 1/4 of an inch now, which is nice for the garden. It's only 47 degrees right now. This is all the jam and preserves or whatever that Melissa has been canning the last couple of days. That's about 10 minutes after 9. Melissa finished up all that canning, and now you can see that she's finishing up frying all of the pork chops, and then tomorrow they got to be in for 6 hours. And I also showed her pottery. She's been in that ceramics pottery wheel class. She did 6 weeks, and now I think she's done her first of 6 more in intermediate, but she brought that stuff home the other day and I was amazed. I had no idea what she was doing there. I got pictures of her making clay stuff, but then once it got fired and everything, it's like, wow, it looks really nice. She has that fan going above the stove and it's blowing all that air out here and it smells so good. Tomorrow we'll finish the garden. And I'd like to get some more wood split tomorrow, but it's going to be warm, so we'll see what we end up doing. Good morning, everybody. Decided to come out here early when it's still cool out and split a little bit more wood. Later on this afternoon when it gets warmer out, I could play around in the garden. Everything I had cut has been split now. I don't think we're quite done, a quarter of the way done, but now I'll come out here when it cools down a little bit and cut some more of those logs up. I wanted to clear up a couple of questions that I get when I'm splitting the wood, and they say, why don't I have one of those ones that tees so it cuts it into four? And I don't like those. I mean, in a world where the logs are all this size, that would work just fine. But for me, some of these are the perfect size, so I take and I'll split it once and get a piece like this here. Then I'll take and split the other one into two pieces, so I make it into three. Otherwise, I'm either, you know, I like a variety of sizes, but I don't want them all really small. I want big and small, because when you're starting that fire, you need to get the smaller ones in there to really get it going. Another question I continually get is, why did I get all birch? That is what was available. Up here you get birch or maple, and you can only transport firewood within 50 miles. That's the law up here, so you're kind of limited. But there is no oak up here for firewood. I do with the slab wood get, sometimes that's ash, so maybe you can get this in ash, but I wouldn't want a whole load of this in ash. It just creates too much ash in the fire. It burns really hot, but I wouldn't want that, so birch is what was available. And birch is a great wood, as long as you get it split up so that these don't rot within themselves, because that bark holds in moisture. Oh, it's 89 degrees right now. I haven't planted those few other plants. It's just so hot today. But these plants look like they're doing good. This one looks a little droopy, but when it gets hot, they get droopy. This one here might need a little bit more water. No, it's still damp at the base right here. So they seem to be doing pretty good. Melissa made breakfast for lunch. And now those pork chops that she cooked last night have been in the mushroom onion gravy or whatever it's called for about 5 hours. And they're just slowly cooking. I decided to come out here because usually it's way cooler in the workshop. And try to fix up this swing, but I'm going to do a separate video on this that'll go on Joe and Zach's Survival because that's when I grabbed it. But I wanted to see what the temperature looks like inside the workshop. Well, that's showing 92 degrees outside, and it's only 69 in here. That's nice. I got this project finished. It was salvageable. Everything is nice and tight now. Okay everyone, well thanks a lot for watching. There was still a few things I wanted to get done tonight. It's just a couple minutes before 8 o'clock, but I think I'm going to wait. I wanted to plant this vine right here, but with tomorrow supposed to be getting close to 100 degrees, I think it's best that I wait. I just watered it right now. And then I'm really looking forward to separating these chives. They're actually, I got a chunk of chives that were my mom's in her garden years ago. And I've kept these alive. I had them in the hobby farm garden, dug them up from there, brought them here. I've got some up at the tent, but I want to separate those out into 2 or 3 pieces and get them into pots. They just don't grow any bigger than that. That's just the max that that pot can handle. When I turned on the water to the work camper, everything seemed to be just fine, and then there's a leak behind the toilet. So I'm going to have to pull the toilet. I mean, it can't be too much work to pull them 2 bolts and pull it out and see if something either cracked, which I just can't believe it would crack because I really went through and winterized this well last year, and it's like at the top of the toilet right before it goes in. Anyway, I'll pull the toilet and see if it's a loose fitting or if something's cracked, but I'm not going to do that today either. I'll put that in another episode. I will see you guys on the next video.